Hello everybody and welcome back to Stellaris, where we know where our borders are. We also know that we're losing this fight here, and we'll go ahead and retreat that. We lost a ship, that's okay. How many total did we end up losing? We lost 6. Sounds good. So we're going to just get ourselves 6 additional corvettes. There we go. And that will be done by the time these ships come back. Excellent. So we'll be able to take out those mining drones next time. No big deal. At this point, we are working on filling out all of the land that we grabbed. This caravan is showing up. Well, actually, we just found them. They're not showing up. Sounds good. We do have a few more systems, or rather planets, to terraform, and let's bump this up to faster speed. Perfect. Excellent. This would be a pretty high-quality one to terraform. We are lacking in some energy credits to make that happen, but that's fine. We can always get them. It's not a big deal. And of course, we are getting our corvettes built up. They'll be done long before our other ships get back. That is for sure. Hearthseed does require jobs here, and amenities as well. Okay, so in that case, we should probably build a city district to help out with the amenities. That'll work. And in terms of energy credits, the better way to deal with our energy credits right now would probably be to deal with some of our trade issues that we've got going on. Let's go ahead and get additional edicts as well as our monthly unity here. Ah! At long last, our scientists have penetrated the outer material of the alien box. The 3 small vials are indeed filled with different liquids, one red, one blue, and one green. The liquids are less alien than their container, and our scientists have identified them as primed gene modification mediums. For reasons beyond our understanding, the solutions are quickly deteriorating outside their alien container, but there should be enough time to synthesize and apply one of them to our species. It has been confirmed that its effects would be positive, but exactly how remains to be seen. So obviously we're fish, right? Ocean-dwelling fish. We're going to use the blue solution. What other solution color would we use? Guess we'll see what happens. The blue gene modification solution has been successfully administered to the Pictling people. Based on preliminary observations of early subjects, the solution appears to increase our potential lifespan. That is not bad. We don't hate that. We've traced the unusual electromagnetic radiation emanating from Biestris 8A to a secret subterranean bunker, hiding a megacomputer the size of a battleship. Our researchers suspect that it may have been there for several thousand years, hard at work solving a very complex problem, the nature of which still eludes us. When the crew attempted to interact with the computer, they discovered that the facility, which had appeared both abandoned and unguarded, was in fact operated by a security AI, the highest purpose of which seems to be frying its visitors alive. As the crew defeated the AI, it broadcasted a message to an unknown recipient. So we can scrap it. This is a bad idea in my opinion. We can use it to boost our own research, and that will cause the computer to break down within a foreseeable future, or we could let it continue. Now, I would often choose let it continue, and I've never seen it actually come back and solve something in the future, but I would take that for the influence. However, we're not in a situation right now where we need ludicrous amounts of influence. We know where our borders are. Our borders are solid. So I think we're going to boost our own research with it. Engineering research, 10% for 10 years. Sounds good. Excellent. Ah, we found additional miners over here in Mazim. Cool. And we're just going to continue to automatically survey. So that does, of course, mean that we are going to need our military fleet to come back at some point soon. The Birkenmar station is ready to be expanded with its gun and missile batteries and its target uplink computer. Fantastic. We would love to get another one in Genome, but because we know that this is the Raiders, we know that we actually don't need a station in Hotram. So that's good. These are void clouds. Yikes. Okay, we'll come back to that. Sounds good. Go ahead and build the research stations here and build the starbase in Hotram. And this over here should definitely build mining stations and then come down and build a starbase. Beautiful. So we're going to, I think, do colonization fever at this point. We are going to be doing a lot of colonization in the near future, and having it start with an additional colonist is a fantastic thing. We're very, very pleased about that. We actually can get another starbase, and that starbase absolutely goes into Genome. We'll go ahead and upgrade that. Beautiful. So we've got our starbase defensive outposts going, and this construction ship is actually not doing anything, and it really, really should be. We'll send it over to Femisto. Excellent. As soon as this month tick happens, we can get this planet terraforming, and there we go. Fantastic.
A system has been charted.
We briefly detected some unusual energy readings emanating from this planet. It might have been a glitch in our systems, or it could be a sign of something more. We'll go ahead and research that. That'll be just fine. This science ship is not doing anything of note, and we are going to have it come up and research anomalies. That'll be just fine. Tadasca Prime is currently set up as a rural world. I'm not sure what we actually want it to be later on, but we'll probably switch it up to be something else. We'll see. While approaching Jasmac 2, the Damp Periplus suddenly received a glancing hit by several passing mass driver rounds. The projectiles were billions of years old, and based on their trajectory, they appear to be stray rounds fired from a neighboring galaxy. After missing their intended target, they continued on their journey for untold millennia until today. The rounds we've recovered are of an advanced design, despite their incredible age. Cool. So we've got a good idea of what the galaxy looks like, although it's not a great idea. And we've built our additional mining stations. That's always good. Ooh, hang on. We'll get back to you. We need this ship doing something of note. And for right now, we're going to have it start doing... Actually, we can't get that one. But we'll have it start, like, researching anomalies over in this system. Oh, there's no leader. No wonder. None of these matter, actually. And we don't have the energy credits. Okay, let's just sell off a little bit of minerals there to get the energy credits. And none of these are important to us, so we'll just go for this guy. And we're going to come down and research those anomalies. Okay. Science Officer Baltart reports that the luminous waves coursing through the ice at Blancus Biesta 8 are of alien origin. Some ancient battle has deposited scattered wreckage from an alien fighter on the frozen planet, and only the exposed core of its main weapons remains intact. It seems this alien race used lasers somewhat more advanced than the ones currently in use by Pictish fleets, and the fizzling innards periodically discharge low-powered lasers into the ice of Biesta 8. The planet's harsh climate prevents the lasers from actually melting the ice, allowing the chilly matrix to act as a brilliant prism. Cool. So we get blue lasers out of that. That's fantastic. So, I mean, we're still working on research station output, but let's go ahead and upgrade our Corvettes then to use blue lasers. That'll be just amazing. We're very, very pleased with that. And we'll get these guys upgraded. Of course, our main fleet is not back yet, but that's fine. Crystal mines. Beautiful. Destroyers or living metal mega construction. Or starholds. Or mining station output. This is all tough. I feel like...
Ships ready for action.
I feel like we go for destroyers. Okay. We're gonna need them all eventually, so it'll be fine.
We grow ever stronger.
Let's go ahead and get our mining stations built and head to Fautera. Excellent. Anything else going on in our planets? No, that is a negative. The Space Elf League has become more egalitarian. Good for them. I'm sure that'll be great. Just checking for additional terraforming targets within our borders. It's mostly just these right now. Okay. We've not only succeeded in terraforming Charna 3A, but we've done something even better. During the final stretch of the process, our terraforming specialists managed to make it a perfect home for our local fauna, creating a moon eerily similar to Hearthsea. All our local plant life there is... Wait. No, I confused myself. All our local plant life is there, but none of the familiar terrain. This moon shall be known as Hearthsea 2, or a fortuitous development. You know what? We'll call it Hearthsea 2. What could be wrong? Electric Boogaloo. Perfect. So we'll colonize that. Hearthsea 2. Excellent. So that was out in China. We're colonizing in Tadasca, right? Actually, we're not.
Has been founded.
We're going to start a big colonization wave here because a lot of these are finishing up. And hang on. What is different here? Ah, these guys have limited regeneration. These guys don't. Okay, cool. So that is indeed the one that we want. There we go. Any others that we can settle here? I think that's all of them for now. Okay. When are our ships going to be back? They're going to be back in just a couple days, so that's fantastic. And we'll get them upgraded to blue lasers. That said, it's going to take them a while because we're building construction ships. Yeah.
Intellectual booty.
Or rather, we're building colony ships. What's more important here? Honestly, I think the colony ships are more important. So let's go ahead and take planetary capitals. That'll be handy. And honestly, survey speed is irrelevant at this point. Barrier point defense might not be terrible, though. We'll take that. This construction ship is complete in Zorf. We'll build our observation posts, and we will also build our mining stations. The mummified remains of a single individual belonging to a previously unknown mammalian species has been found drifting in high orbit over Vajimar 1A. The being is dressed in what appears to be a flight suit, complete with a helmet, and maybe a fighter pilot that ejected in some ancient battle, only to be forgotten and left behind. Our study of the corpse has provided some interesting data. A tragic fate indeed. We can't merge these together at this point because they're upgrading. That's okay. We briefly detected some unusual energy readings emanating from this moon. It might have been a glitch in our systems, or it could be a sign of something more. Well, we'll check it out. Sounds good. We are running out of locations to survey, and that is completely fine. Our sensors have discovered that the ship remnants on A728 got there in a peculiar way. The ship seemed to have been intentionally driven straight into the asteroid, probably from light years away, to test the accuracy of the designer's thrusters. As we deep scan the remains, we pick out one ship in particular, which seems to have reasonably intact propulsion. We can recover that thruster for some afterburners, or... this is missing an apostrophe, but or we can get 3 alloys per month. The choice is obvious, the 3 alloys. That's a way, way bigger deal than getting us half of advanced afterburners. We'll get advanced afterburners no matter what. No problem whatsoever there. Our colony ships will take a while to finish up, that's fine. A microsingularity recently intersected Bish 1A, passing straight through the core and emerging on the other side of the moon. The encounter does not seem to have caused any permanent damage, but it has altered the energy output of the planetary core slightly in a way that defies our current scientific models. Further study may be warranted. Neat. A more detailed scan of one of the many natural satellites orbiting the gas giant Birkenmar 3 has revealed a deposit of precious metals and minerals that was overlooked in the initial survey. Although the moon is very small, it has a stable orbit around its primary and appears tectonically stable. An excellent find. This science ship isn't doing anything. It will come research anomalies in Kiram. Excellent. And this construction ship is going to be building in Hotram. We are going to need to, of course, build an additional colony ship out over here. This will be one of our furthest flung colonies. And it'll take us some time to get there from our one and only shipyard. We're going to need to do something about Haven Sky here. That's for sure. In fact, we should probably switch from a trade hub over to a shipyard right now. And we'll go ahead and do that. A crew quarters here is okay. It's not exactly what we want, but we don't have the tech for exactly what we want. So it'll be fine. It'll be fine. I think for now, just because it's not going to take very long to actually upgrade these, I think we're just going to do the upgrades first. We'll get those done and out of the way, and then we'll get our corvettes on their way.
We grow ever stronger.
So that'll be absolutely great. The Birkenmar Starbase has finished its construction queue. And I do want to check the Genome Starbase. Yeah, this needs upgrades. Gun battery, missile battery, and target uplink computer. Fantastic. The Damp Luminary of Creation, of course, needs to come over this way and build a starbase. Fantastic. We would like to do additional terraforming, but for now, that's not really a thing. After the study of Vijamarf 6A has concluded, Science Officer Abibel reports that they found the planet to be unusually rich in minerals. This discovery was made in large part thanks to a certain member of the Damp Overlord of the Abyss crew. Abibel praises the protege highly. We could offer them a science officer position, or we could just say we have the science officers we need, and that's what we're going to do. Sorry, bud, but we've got what we need. Okay, the Damp Ruler of the Morning Star needs to build mining stations here, but we also need to queue up a colony in Hotram Prime. There we go. We'll group these guys together. And we're actually lacking a corvette here.
We grow ever stronger.
So let's get that one final corvette in. Excellent. That final corvette will be constructed quite soon, and then we'll get our corvettes heading out again. We haven't really focused too hard on military strength, and there's some good reasons for that. Metamorphic dehydration. Following a thorough investigation of Shed 2, the Damp Knight's Beacon crew has confirmed that the planet used to be covered in flowing water several billion years ago. That sounds good. However, the geochemical composition of the planet's basalt crust proved highly hydrophilic, so much so that Shed 2's thirsty rocks eventually absorbed and bound all the water on its surface. Well, that's rude! Now all that remains of those vast oceans are salty brine streaks lining Shed 2's numerous canyons. Science Officer Baltart adds that the mineral hydrates now dominating Shed 2's landscape could have many valuable industrial applications. Okay. But I mean, we're going to want to flood them again. Hearthsea needs jobs and amenities. And to that end, yeah, we do want to extend our deal with them. Let's go ahead and sell off some minerals here. We'll extend our deal. And then I'm going to sell a few more minerals, and we'll get a terraforming project going. That one's already going. I want B3A. There we go. Okay. Excellent. And we want something that produces amenities here, which is going to be like, I mean, we could put in a crystal mine. That would be a good thing to put in. But what do we actually want here? Luxury residences? I mean, that produces amenities. Clerks produce amenities. Commercial zones. Sounds good. Terraforming on Biestra 2 has finished faster than initially estimated, which has left our terraforming specialists with time to experiment, and the results are impressive. We had this one before. We're doing really well with our terraforming. Like, absolutely wonderfully. We're going to grab those extra amenities this time. That'll be great. Like, our terraforming efforts are doing exceptionally well. Remarkably well. Our corvettes definitely want to head back up over this way. It's going to take them a couple years to get there. That's fine. This toxic and lifeless world appears to have been once inhabited by a moderately advanced pre-space civilization. The ruins of their cities are still strewn across the surface. Well, we'll look into that. Sounds good to me. Now... okay. So this is the primitive civilization. Zorf 3 is, in fact, a location that we can settle. Cool. There is evidence that the current climate of Cordip 4 is the cause of a runaway greenhouse effect, triggered by massive amounts of pollution. The oceans have boiled away, and the planet is permanently enclosed in a dense cloud layer due to the thick atmosphere. Scattered ruins from the indigenous civilization can still be found on the surface, suggesting an overpopulated culture that perished in the mid to late stages of an industrial age. What a waste. What a waste. Science Officer Baltart reports that Shetty 1 is covered from pole to pole in a web-like network of electrical filaments. These networks respond to external stimuli. The Damp Nights beacon experimented with sending a low-voltage pulse to the surface, which resulted in a wave of illumination that rippled through the network like a circuit board. Even more remarkably, the webs rearranged themselves. A second low-voltage pulse revealed that the filaments have been organized into a new pattern, centered around where the previous pulse had contacted the surface of Shetty 1. Baltart concludes that this discovery confirms their long-held theory that life can exist as almost purely electrical impulses, independent of cellular or viral structure. Disturbing. Disturbing indeed. Gadam Prime needs a job, and of course, this being a new colony, it's going to be a gene clinic. In fact, we should build a gene clinic on all of our new colonies. Excellent. A ruined network of aerostat colonies dating back at least 3 millennia can be found in low orbit of this gas giant. Their original function appears to have been gas mining, but they've since been abandoned and reoccupied by many different races and pirate groups. The colonies have been thoroughly stripped of anything even remotely valuable, but the mere fact that they're still aloft after all this time makes them an interesting subject of engineering research. Indeed.
We grow ever stronger.
This construction ship, of course, needs constructionation, and we will head on out. This science ship can come on over this direction and research anomalies. This science ship, what other anomalies do we have over here? There's some over in Rigel, so that'll be fine. The Damp Tyrant of Fire, of course, needs to build its mining and research stations. There we go. And we've got a lot of trade over here that we're leaving on the table, for sure. We're going to want to deal with that, but we're going to want to let our starbase cap drift up a little bit as we continue to settle planets and grab systems here. That will definitely continue at a reasonable pace. We'll be able to get what we need. So that's good. If you look at our trade routes right now, it's already a bit yikes, but we'll get there. We will absolutely get there.
Establishing a new colonial outpost.
Excellent. That's on Hearthsea 2.
Grow ever stronger.
Beautiful. The Luminary of Creation is finished up over here, and once it's done with that, we can have it come up and build all of this stuff that we've discovered since we settled these regions. So we'll just do something along those lines. Fantastic. This science chip isn't really doing anything.
Anomalous space-time continues.
Our science officers found an anomaly. It will require extensive probing, but could garner a substantial find. That's good. I think that we're going to actually have this guy start working on excavations. The remains of what is believed to be an ancient administrative complex belonging to a spacefaring species who called themselves the Gruner has been found on 1337-438. This fallen civilization appears to have inhabited the planet a staggering 7 million years ago, and our archaeologists are eager to uncover their secrets.
We grow ever
As well they should be.
stronger.
As well they should be. The Damp Periplus' crew is reporting that they found something spectacular on Cordip 7A. On the surface lies traces of an explorative expedition of another civilization. Left behind are some well-preserved documents and artifacts. The proposed action by Chief Science Officer Azru Sakin is to send the text findings to our homeworld for translation. There's also the possibility to sell them off to a private investor. Yeah, we're not going to do that. We're going to research them. So let's go ahead and do exactly that. This construction ship, of course, requires orders, and it will head down over here to Yaragana, where we will get some decent mining stations going. Barrier point defense is finished. That is great. And next up, I think we'll go with plasma. Plasma's pretty good. And we'll get to you in a moment. But first, I want to hop in here and upgrade our barrier point defense. We're not going to be able to upgrade our existing ships, of course, but that's fine. Science ship Damp Nights Beacon came up short with regards to its original mission of investigating possible activity on the frozen surface of Astrikion 6. Astrikion? That's a lot of consonants in a row. There's seemingly nothing of note but ice and rock. However, Science Officer Baltart, a self-proclaimed gourmet chef, and history buff, claims to have made an important discovery. A chemical compound found in the surface layers of several regions of Astrikeon 6 is allegedly, supposedly, closely related to Pictish stellar salts, an ingredient integral to many Pictish dishes and thought extinct on Hearthsea. It has long been speculated that Pictish stellar salt was never native to our homeworld, but was brought to the surface by some meteorite impacts in the distant past. The science officer's discovery on Astrikeon 6 lends some credence to this theory, though Baltart leans heavily on properties described in ancient cookbooks predating modern chemistry to prove the saline connection. Whether the salt analyzed and synthesized actually tastes like the Pictish stellar salt of old is ultimately of little consequence. Just the idea of traditional foods now possessing... Wow, words are incredibly difficult all of a sudden. It's a good thing we're at the end of this episode, because apparently I've lost the ability to words. Let me try that one again. Just the idea of traditional foods now possessing more historically accurate flavor profiles is bound to stimulate both the Pictish economy and palate. Savory. Cool. And with that, it is definitely time to put a cut in here, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. In next episode, hopefully I will not be so words challenged. You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings, and I will see you all next time.